Matt, what is it about their defense that makes it so impossible to rush the ball?
Yeah, I think the flow of the game in the second half a little bit probably makes that look unique in its own way. But, they're really good. I mean, they're big and physical on the defensive line, obviously, and their front six, front seven are outstanding. And I think we knew that coming into the football game. You would have liked to have been into a situation and a pace where you were playing ahead a little bit, because I think there were some things that maybe we would have had at our disposal, but you're kind of playing behind the chains most of the game and never giving yourself a situation to maybe put yourself in an advantageous situation in the run game. But certainly credit to them. They are big, physical, really good on the defense.
Was that what was keeping you from throwing more?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we were, kind of right where we wanted to be, at least, in terms of the football game, really played a style of game where we wanted to play and try to give ourselves a chance to go win the game in the fourth quarter. And, we just, in all three phases, we were, an inch away and making the right play or the critical play we needed to win the football game. So,
when you talk about flow, how much did that get disrupted on that PAT that they take back that we would have been?
I don't know. Obviously that was – we still didn't get a stop. We never got the stop tonight. We were never able to get the stop when we needed to get the stop in the football game defensively. Offensively, we were kind of always playing catch up through the football game. So, that play, obviously it wasn't what you wanted to have happen, but we're still right there, and got to go get the stop where you got a chance to, go back up and felt really confident because we started to gain some confidence on offense. But, we just never played in flow. And you guys know when we're at our best, we're playing really good complementary football, and we never had that much tonight in the football game. Credit to them.
In similar vein, you get it to a one-score game again on the fourth down throw at Houston, and does it tie into the fact that you're still playing from behind, you still got to get that critical stop?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you gotta make the play to totally swing the tide. I thought that was obviously a great throw by Rocco, great catch by Easton. Again, it's the second time in a row in the second half that you got back the momentum of the football game, and you're just never able to capitalize on it. And again, for me, I judge attitude and effort and character. And again, I thought our kids all the way to the last whistle are playing their tails off. And that's a really good Texas team. We had our opportunities. I think I talked on Tuesday, we had to execute, and there were times we did, but we just didn't do it as consistent enough in all three phases of the football game. And at the end of the day, to beat that football team, you're going to have great execution, especially from our end of things.
Coach, getting play calls in, especially in a comeback like that, have you guys explored other ways to speed that process up, or is it something that's too hard to adjust to in the middle of the season? No,
I don't know it. We've got multiple tempos.
What did you see from Rocco managing that pressure, managing that defensive front in this game?
Yeah, I really thought early in the game, we were, again, playing with some flow really through the first three quarters. It was really at the end of the football game when we got ourselves, kind of in some 2-minute situations and some second and long, third and long situations where, they could kind of tee off on us. And I thought they did. And again, they've got some elite players that were able to get good pressure. But I thought for the first 3.5 quarters of the game, I thought Rocco really precision, detail. I thought he played a really good football game. Gave us every chance to certainly win the game.
Not that this one play had any, that was the reason why the game ended the way it did, but as you guys were kind of building momentum, Rocco has the interception, and then they go down and score a touchdown. What do you think that the impact of that kind of sequence was on the outcome of the game as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to, turn the ball over, but again, then you got to make a play on defense, right? You got to stop them, and so, again, we just never found the flow at times. Every opportunity that we had, we get the ball back, we give the ball back, we're just never playing in a flow. So I think that's it's like Travis asked, it's a field goal block. I mean, you can name a million of those plays that happen in the game. And so at the end of the day, we had opportunities in the football game. We gave ourselves great opportunities. We just didn't take advantage of them.
Matt, over the last 5 years or so, 6 years, you guys in Texas have played entertaining games, close games. You've won some, they've won some. It didn't used to be that way. What have you done to narrow the gap, get the gap closer? I mean, not closer, to the point where now you guys do win some of these games?
Well, I think you asked that question, Randy, maybe a couple weeks ago about where this program's come. Our kids believe. And our kids believe that it doesn't matter who, when, where we're going to play. We believe we've got the ability to win the football game. And, you know, again, even tonight, I mean, till the very last breath, you know, you thought you got a chance to get the ball back. Man, we got a great onside kick, come out and go win the football game. And yet, you know, it's what I really love about our kids, and I feel like it's probably what this senior class and our team is kind of giving back to Iowa State, you know, where that confidence that it doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter what the score is, we're going to keep playing, find a way to win the football game. And so, you know, that belief and confidence, I think, has gone a long way, certainly over the course of the last 7 to 8 years.
Matt, you mentioned the complementary football. How difficult was it to kind of run the ball with that big defensive front?
Yeah, you know, like I said, they've got an outstanding defense, and you know their size and you know physicality showed up in the football game. You know, I think we knew we needed to use short passing game early in the football game to help us out, and we did. You know, we were really good at it throughout the really first quarter and a half of the game, and you know felt like if we could get a rhythm, we could give ourselves the ability to kind of loosen things up in the running game. But you know, I don't know if we did it as consistent as we needed to be able to win the football game for sure.
Matt, I know you've talked all season that one of the themes is you're never going to be perfect, but you talked about the good things you've seen. Rocco probably falls in that category, but he sets his freshman record for touchdowns, breaking Brock's record, and you know obviously you've seen his growth throughout the season.
Yeah, I think it's been, I mean, you saw his growth tonight. You see Ben Bramer make some incredible plays tonight. I mean, man, you see Coop come back and made some great plays for our football team. Yeah, like we don't have a damn thing to be embarrassed about, and I'll be really honest with you. You know, I'm really excited to get back to work with this football team. As at the end of the day, we'll let the end of the football season define where we're at and certainly where we've come from. There's a lot of work to do, but man, proud of our kids, really proud of our kids. Kids gave great effort, you know, and again, we're an inch away, and that's the number 7 team in the country. That's a really good football team. A lot of veterans, a lot of really good football players, and you tip your hat to them. But man, our kids kept fighting, and we had opportunities in the game. I think the frustration from my end is, man, it's that execution, it's that inch that we got to keep pounding away at. And obviously, man, you play a great team next week on the road. That's a hard place to play, and we got another huge opportunity to try to grow forward from it.
I asked you last week about the middle screen that Bramer hit 2 of them for big gains today. How much is he a weapon in that play, particularly?
Yeah, you know, he's a weapon, period. You know, and that's probably, you know, a lot of credit to Nate and our staff of, you know, how do you just keep finding different ways to get your playmakers the ball. And, you know, it takes a lot of precision from Rocco, especially those big bodies trying to navigate. And then obviously, you know, you got to be pretty fearless to be able to go in there and kind of navigate that in the middle of the field. And Ben does a great job of that. So all really positive stuff. And Ben continues to be a huge contributor to this team right now.
You talked briefly about it being senior night a few questions ago. What was it like to be able to send this group out in front of a sold-out crowd? I know it wasn't the way you maybe wanted to send them out, but what was it like for you?
Yeah. You know, senior night is emotional period just because, you know, again, I know I said this on Tuesday. It's really, really hard to be a senior today in college football, and the majority of those guys have been with us every step of the way. And you know, when you have a guy like Gary Vaughn that's been a foundational figure in this football program for the last 6 years, it's emotional. And the neat thing for me is, man, there's a lot of football left to play with these guys, and we still got another month and a half to cherish who they are and continue to represent everything that they stand for. And man, this group has done powerful things, and they'll continue to do powerful things till they leave us.
To go back to Travis's question about plays like Den's screen and that touchdown to Dean, what's it say about your team and the growth you guys have had to be able to install those plays and execute them in the ways that you did tonight?
Yeah, like I said, our kids are fearless, and you know, I think we played that way at times tonight. Fearless, yes. Precision and detail, not to what we needed to win the football game. But you know, like I told you, I'm really proud of what our kids were able to accomplish, and certainly really excited to get back to work with them and clean up the things we need to continue to clean up. All right, guys. Thank you.